Hello friends, Rob here, RPelton1. Thanks for tuning in, appreciate it. We're up in Thunder Bay, Canada, at the Sleeping Giant Provincial Park, which is on the Sibley Peninsula, right in Thunder Bay, so we're still along Lake Superior. Cass back there, Han and Chewy back there, Toots, and of course, Almost sitting back there too. Got about a 30-mile trip. What's that in kilometers?
40 or 50.
Nobody knows. 40, 50 Ks? I'll link it right there. It's gonna be a great trip. We got some diverse weather coming up, but the scenery, once we get up on the Giant, it's gonna be fantastic. Thanks for coming along. So where we are, we're only about 7 hours from the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, right through customs. It was a breeze. Another 40-minute drive into Thunder Bay. But the park, this whole park here is only a 40-minute drive from Thunder Bay, so it's very close proximity. It's a fantastic park. It's fairly big. A lot of mountain bikers out here. You know, we ran into some hikers already. But it's been a pretty easy walk so far. I think today's our largest mileage day. But I'm excited to be up here and hiking up in Canada. So a very short trek from the trailhead is an overlook called the Sea Lion, which is a big rock formation that goes out in the Lake Superior, and it's supposed to resemble a sea lion. I think it looks more like a woolly mammoth, but it's a very short hike in, and then just only 500 meters that way, so should be pretty cool. So that's the sea lion. Obviously the coloring is just about right, and I can see how they get that, but still, I see woolly mammoth. What do you think? Been a real easy, steady hike. And all the mileage markers is all in kilometers, which makes sense because the whole world but us uses kilometers. So my distance checks from here on out are going to be all in kilometers. And I'll do a little conversion for you as I go. Beautiful, beautiful day. So we made it to camp, and it is windy at this campsite. When I say windy, I'm talking 20, 30 miles an hour. It is blowing like crazy. It's supposed to calm down, but setting up hammocks and tarps in this kind of wind is crazy. Oh man. It's so windy, I'm not even gonna set up my tarp yet. It's just crazy. Gonna eat a little bit of lunch, and then we're gonna take a spur trail up to the top of the Giant, which is, I believe, the Giant's knees, I believe. Ate a little lunch at camp. From the trailhead to the campsite that we're staying tonight is 8.5 kilometers, give or take. Now Toots back there, right there, he says the mileage is wrong. Probably is, but for the informational purposes, I'm going to stick with what the signage says. So after lunch, we're headed up to the spur trail to go up to the knees of the Giant. It's probably a 3-4 hour round trip. It's already after 4, so we gotta make some time to get up top. And I'm sure it's gonna be windy as hell up there. So here's a spur trail going up to the knees of the Giant. The main trail that we're on is the Kabeyun Trail, I believe. Now this trail, I believe it's a kilometer
to a junction.
To a junction, And then from the junction, it's another 5 kilometers.
Yeah, there'll be a new set of directions, but it doesn't tell you that on this sign.
So basically, if you're gonna go up this way, give yourself a little extra time. All right, onward, friends.
Yay!
Yay. So this overlook is the best one on the trail. It's also the longest and the hardest. Is that why we chose it first?
Well, yeah. That way, if you can do this one, you can do all the other ones.
Seems logical. Making our way up the spur trail. It's a pretty good hike. It switchbacks around quite a bit. Some pretty decent elevation, I think about 1,200 feet or so. Lake Superior in the background. It's amazing. Damn, I love it out here. Made it to the top. Gorgeous views up here. Sun's starting to go down. Temps dropping, still windy. I love how hard climbs are rewarded with spectacular views. It's awesome. I can't tell you how many times I say spectacular, but that's exactly what it is. It's just spectacular. So now we're at something called the gorge. Big old thing behind me that keeps going down, down. And it is freaky to be here. It's super windy. If you're scared of heights, forget it. The gorge down there is kind of terrifying. But do I even need to say it? So the park office doesn't even open until 10 a.m. and we're on the eastern side of Ontario, which means it's Eastern Standard Time here, so we're an hour ahead of my normal home time. So we didn't hit the trail till pretty late, so that's why today's a little bit rushed, but the rest of the trip should be a little bit more easygoing, especially with today, the hard day, being pretty much done. Gonna head down to camp and book it before dark. Hopefully the wind dies down, get a fire going, relax, and do this again tomorrow. There it is. Windy night. Right about 1 o'clock, it kicked up like crazy, blowing my tarp in on me. It just sprinkled a little here and there, nothing crazy. But despite all that craziness, I slept pretty well. Packed up, hitting the trail. for a little while here, there's a big stretch of this big boulder hopping, rock hopping stuff. Chewy back there having a little trouble, but she's getting by. How you doing, Toots?
Good. Solid. Slippery. There we are.
From right along the lakeshore, heads right into a pretty aggressive climb. I know the camera doesn't show it, but it goes pretty much straight up for a little while.
No, it's fine now. It's fine. You guys will like it, I swear. Come to Canada, it's nice.
Oh yeah, there's no gradual uphill, it just shoots straight on up. Not very long, but you're gaining some major altitude. It's good for you. But yeah, one word, Canada. Switchbacks. What's your definition of switchback?
Oh, switchbacks, that's when you're drinking 2 beers at the same time, right, eh? And so you drink one, and partway through you switch back to the other one, right?
Took a little break, had a little lunch at a really nice little campsite. We're really close to the Bird Observatory, which is right on this point where they catch a lot of migratory birds and study them and things like that. There's a migration happening now because we're going into winter, but they're still open, so we're gonna go check that out. So we made it out to the Bird Observatory. And this is Renshin Boardman, who is the director here. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he does and what his crew does in order to monitor the birds.
For 28 years we've been monitoring migrant songbirds that come up here all the way up north to breed. And they do that in that they migrate from places like Colombia, Ecuador, Guatemala, and they come up here in the spring. Usually around May is the kind of the peak period. Come farther north into the boreal forest, breed, create some offspring, and then they head straight back. And they start to head back in August, and that's why we're here right from about August until the end of October. I'm the coordinator, and I couldn't operate this station without the wonderful volunteers, all that give their time and energy and expertise to this operation. We monitor the birds for productivity, fluctuations in populations, as well as we do a little bit of work around the insects too, and the seeds, all of those things that these birds are eating.
That's just amazing. And songbirds, some of them are really small. We're talking birds that are just a few grams in weight.
Yep.
And they're flying all the way down to Costa Rica and South America twice a year, down and back. That's amazing.
Little miracles they are.
Wow.
And they fly mostly at night when the air is still, using the stars for navigation, electromagnetic field.
Wow.
And sometimes the prevailing wind.
And just more miracles of nature. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate it and all the work you do.
Okay, I'm so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Just amazing what the animals of this planet can accomplish. It's crazy. There's a very large observation tower. It's only about 30 meters up, where you climb like a 4-story tower, and it's supposed to be pretty awesome up there. So we're gonna make our way down the trail and get to the top. Come on. Made it to the top. Pretty good climb. You can see behind me, it just...
Arr, there be another hatch.
I mean, it's just crazy. It's all enclosed, you know, with glass, which is nice. And then on out the door onto the observation deck. Very cool stop at the Thunder Cape Observatory. The work that they do is pretty cool. And a lot of it's volunteer based too. So if you're interested in volunteering up here with Rinchin, I'll leave a link to his Facebook page and all that stuff down in the description of this video. But now it's back to the main trail and off to camp. Been a nice little walk once we left the Bird Observatory. From there, it's probably about 9 kilometers to our campsite. The trail's a little narrower. Narrower. But nice, you know, fairly easy walking. And the constant waves bashing the shore is a constant reminder that Lake Superior is right over there. So yesterday, we were up on that giant cliff that looked down into the gorge, that really kind of scary, freaky place. That's it, way up there. And we were looking down this way. So why backpacking? Why does it hold a special place for me? Why do I love it so much? It's a little bit of a complicated answer. Basically, getting out on the trail, getting out in the woods, into nature, for me it has some kind of healing property to it. Just being around nature just recharges me. Now when you get on the trail, you know, you bring with you all the pressures in life, all the stress, all the social anxieties. You get out on the trail, you get to leave all that behind. I mean, for just a little while. And the trail, the woods, the mountains, the lakes, it doesn't care about any of those things, because its job is to simply exist. And when you're out here, now don't get me wrong, all those stresses and anxieties are still waiting for you. They'll be there, you know, when you get back. That's fine. And another thing is when you're out here, your job is very clear, very simple. Your job is to walk, eat, sleep, and take a shit every once in a while. That's it. That's your only job while you're out here. And while you're at it, you may as well enjoy all of this too. That's why I love it out here. That's why I throw the necessities in a bag and go for a walk. Made it to camp. Again, it's right along the shore, but we're in more of a protected bay, so it's not blowing in 1,000 miles an hour on us, which is kind of a nice relief. It's starting to get pretty chilly though. I think tonight's gonna get below 40, like 39 degrees, something like that. So I kind of wish I would have brought my REI puffy, but I think I got enough layers to be all right. I am rocking the War Bonnet Ridge Runner. For those of you who don't know, I'm a bridge hammock ridge runner kind of guy. It's just what I first tried, and it's what I've stuck with, and I have no reason to switch to a gathered end. It is what it is. Gonna get finished getting hung here, grab some dinner, get a fire rolling. I mean, you got like 2 or 3 more hikers joining us tonight, and I think one of them is gonna bring me a beer. All settled in camp, ate dinner. Now we're just gonna relax, enjoy the fire. The wind and the waves has subsided, so it shouldn't be just insane tonight. It's gonna get a little chilly, but it's still gonna be a nice night. And then tomorrow, do it all over again. See you in the morning. What a great couple days on the Giant. Next week, Wednesday, will be part 2 and the conclusion of the Sleeping Giant trip.